Hi, this week I want us to talk about how grace and flexibility is actually going to be the key to achieving anyone's goal, desire, fulfilling a life purpose, doing what we need to do to actually create the life that we want to create and living in the life we want to have. Now, one of the key factor of being consistent in life is actually flexibility. And it won't work. We can't be consistent if we don't have flexibility because we are human beings. We are human beings, which means that we are not going to be operating 100% every single day. It's just a fact, and we need to accept it. And a lot of people are not accepting of that fact to actually have this grace that it's impossible to be 100% every single day. And that burning yourself out, exhausting yourself, beating yourself up because you're not doing as much as you wanted to do that day is not going to make you more productive. It's not going to make you achieve more. It's actually can even have a negative effect in having you ended up self-sabotaging yourself with habits, behaviors that you wish you didn't do and engage in. And some of those habits and behaviors may have a purpose at that moment, but it all depends how you approach them. So what I want to share with you is a couple weeks ago, I went to my massage therapist, and right before in the morning, I just had a lot on my plate that day, and there was just a lot I wanted to get done, and I just couldn't get myself out of bed to start with. It was just really hard. I felt really heavy, slow. I felt drained, and I'm just starting the day. How come I'm feeling so tired? And I reflected on, did I went to bed too late? What did I do? And none of that. So I was just really feeling hard to get motivated to do anything. And then so I pushed myself to get started on some things, and I've just realized that how much slower I was, how much more time I needed to get starting on things, and how less energy I had. I'm at the point in my life where I'm pretty much in tune with my body, so I was just curious about it, and I didn't know what was going on because I didn't have any other symptoms of flu or of feeling sick or anything like that at all. I was looking fine. But when I went to my massage therapist appointment that day, what the reality is as he's doing his normal body massage on my body, he mentioned to me, Maggie, you have a lot of lymph nodes. And at a moment I didn't know what was lymph nodes, but is when there's a congregation of white cells trying to fight something in your body, which means that I had maybe a virus or something happening in my body, that my body was working actively, and because there was a lot going on, you could feel them in your neck, you can feel them in close to your grains, and it was like you have a lot of lymph nodes, so your body is fighting something. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I'm like, what happened when that happened? It's like, well, it takes all the energy of your body when that happens, and you feel more tired because your body energy is concentrated in fighting this virus that you can't see and you can't feel. So the reality is there's a lot more happening that we are not aware, that our mind has no idea why it's happening and what is happening. And why are we tired? Why are we doing this? What do we feel that we should be doing this and not this? And our mind comes with things that it wants to do all the time, and the mind doesn't know those things. My mind had no awareness. Then I have lymph nodes, right? Until you touch your body, and your body is already doing all the things it needs to do. And so my mind had to catch up in the sense that it was like, oh, this is why I'm not feeling 100%. And the reality with that is that I can't accomplish the same thing I will accomplish Today, when I feel maybe 50%, then the day I feel 100%. So that's where flexibility come in, because I'm still going to do a couple things. I'm still going to follow up with things that I need to follow up that are more urgent that day. But I'm not going to do the same things I would do if I had my level of energy and health was 100%. Even though I can't see it, I'm consciously not aware of it, I can just feel it in my body that is tired and it's been telling me. So that's why I want you to put your awareness, is that you're going to have much more things going on in your life every day than you can even think about or put it together. Sometimes it's going to be even emotions that you're not even aware that are running and need to be processed. Maybe you're grieving and there's just a lot happening and moving through your body. Maybe you're fighting a virus and your body is doing that and it's just taking all the energy of your body cells, and it's not being able to accomplish the things you want to do that day, because it just requires you to lay down a bit more and to have some grace for yourself. What happens if you actually don't do that? And I think this is where it's the biggest lie sometimes, is that laziness has nothing to do with laziness. And I don't like that word laziness, because I think it's not true. It's not about laziness. Laziness is not a word that I feel like should even be in a vocabulary, because you're still trying to do something to fulfill a need. Even when other people or yourself, you perceive yourself lazy, and it has nothing to do with laziness. When you don't want to be doing something and you can't find yourself motivated to do something, it's not because you are lazy. It's because the opposite of you, the reason why you're not doing it has more benefit than you doing it. So if you can't get yourself out of your bed in the morning, it has nothing to do with laziness. There's something else going on that is wanting you to stay in bed. So if you have depression, you need rest, and because you can't bring yourself to get up every day because maybe you're sick and there's something you have no idea that is going on. Maybe there's other emotional overload of things you've been through that is still processing, and you think you're being lazy. And maybe the things that you actually want to achieve, you can't bring yourself to do it. Maybe because you have too many emotions against what you are trying to achieve, and too many fears of the failure and not getting you motivated, because there's too many baggage of you. If you were actually going to be trying to accomplish the thing that you think you need to accomplish, there will be too many consequences. And the safest way for you, brain and body, and is maybe to be in bed. Now, I'm not saying that's always the good choice. That's always the way it should be. But what I'm saying is there is a reason why. There is a reason why. And that's where the grace has to come in, because if we keep beating ourselves up, if we keep resisting, being mad at ourselves for not doing those things, we actually amplifying it. We making it worse, because now we also have this other feeling of frustration and anger and inadequacy that comes on top of that, and that now that we have to resolve. So if it was to simply just have this acceptance and self-respect of what is going on, there is something going on with whatever we are doing, even though our mind doesn't have this awareness. It doesn't have the awareness of a body and emotional body. Our mind doesn't have that awareness. And so you can't listen to your mind in 100% that way. You have to be in tune with your emotional body, your physical body, your spiritual body, however it is that you have to connect wherever parts of you that require to fulfill needs, wants, and desire to achieve your goals and your best version of yourself in your world and your life with the people around you, in achieving the gift that you have and sharing them with the world, means that you need grace and self-respect of yourself and flexibility, so you can actually spend less time being angry at yourself and bringing yourself to burnout and exhaustion, but by having more grace, more flexibility, allowing yourself to tune in to what's going on, then you're able to spend more time doing the right things for your mind, body, spirit. Meaning that now you're going to maybe spend an extra hour in bed that morning, and maybe that's what you need. That's all you need to become more productive during that day. But that if you were to not do it and beat yourself up and feeling lazy and feeling like that if you're not doing it and if you're spending more time in bed, that you're not being productive, you can't achieve your goals, and all this kind of stories running through. If you were to not spend that hour in bed, you might actually lose more time in your day, because you're going to be spending the whole day fighting your productivity and what your body really needs. That if you actually just listen to what you needed, you will have only spent an hour, a full 1 hour of rest, to really allowing yourself that extra hour, and then having the rest of your day being as productive as you need to be. But if you don't, then you spend fighting your whole day trying to accomplish the things because you just haven't given yourself that grace in time. It's really, really important, because that's when we start going through a roller coaster, feeling like we're being productive, we're giving it all, and once of a sudden we spend weeks and months not being productive. And we don't understand how are we always on a roller coaster of feeling good, feeling bad, feeling good, feeling bad, depression, motivation, and it feels inconsistent because we actually never in tune completely with what we really need every single day. And so as we keep pushing and pushing every day, one day our body give up and say, can't do this anymore. And that's when we get disease, that's when we get illness, because we actually not listening, and it finds its way to put us to the extreme, because the body is very intelligent. Remember, it's doing its own thing all the time without us having any awareness consciously what's happening. It's just know what to do, how to do it. It's keeping you alive every day. You don't even have to think about it. So it's so much more powerful than your mind can imagine or wants to do the things that your body knows it doesn't have time for, because it's busy just trying to keep you alive most of the time, right? So that's why grace is going to give you more productivity, more ability to accomplish the things you want to accomplish in your life. It's going to be giving you more time, more motivation, more good feelings in your life. Because once you're in tune with your body, then you spend most of it all the time to feel good. When you know how to address what you really need, all your time every day is spent in trying to feel good, not fighting your bad feelings, but always to be and follow what's the best thing you can do at that moment to fulfill all of your need, wants, and desire. And so you always just feel good all the time. And that just made for a more amazing life. A life based on love for yourself, for who you are, what you're doing in your behaviors and habits, and how you are showing up in life. Grace, self-respect, flexibility. Once you have that, that's where true productivity and life fulfillment arise. My name is Meggie Houle, and if you have any question, reach out, please. And if you haven't got a copy of my book, finishwhatyoustartbook.com, make sure you got your copy. And have a good rest of your week, guys. Goodbye.